Now good morning children. Stay safely at home. For standard 9 I am starting the next chapter, light, reflection of light. So I hope you can remember what is light. Light is an electromagnetic wave, or you can say light is a form of energy which produces sensation of vision in our eyes. Alright, then next is what do you mean by the term reflection of light. So understand it, when light strikes a medium and return back to the same medium again, then that is called as reflection of light. So the definition of reflection of light you must learn, you must write and learn. The return of light into the same medium after striking a surface is known as reflection of light. Alright, now whenever reflection takes place, then certain terms are associated with it. So we will learn, already you have learnt it in the lower classes, so I am again just reminding you that. You know that the path along which the light ray fall on the reflecting surface, that is known as the incident ray. So in this diagram, AB is the incident ray. Is that clear? And here we have taken the reflector as a mirror. So MM dash is the mirror, and what is the symbol for mirror? You have to give the shaded sign. Alright, that represent that it is a mirror. Then what is point B? Point B is the point of incidence, the point on the reflector at which light falls on the surface is known as the point of incidence. Now, after striking the surface, the light ray is returning back to the medium along the path BC. So, BC is known as reflected ray. Alright, and here at the point B, a perpendicular is drawn on the reflector. So this perpendicular BN, it is known as normal. The perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence on the reflector is known as normal. Now you don't have to write the definitions of all the things I have said. You don't have to write that. Only you draw the diagram and write down what are they representing the way I have done. Then next is next point term associated with is the angle between the incident ray and normal at the point of incidence is known as angle of incidence. So I is angle of incidence. What is angle of incidence? I said the angle between the incident ray and the normal at the point of incidence. Remember, this is angle of incidence, not angle of incident. Alright, so be careful while writing the terms. Then the angle between the normal and the reflected ray at the point of incidence is known as angle of reflection. So here you see this is angle of reflection. I should write the full name also. In this case it is ABN is the name, the symbol is I, and in this case the name is CBN, or you can write NBC also. Alright. Now, whenever reflection takes place, then it obeys two laws. They are known as laws of reflection. The second important topic. So, this one is the first important topic. Then this one is the second one. Laws of reflection. You must learn both the laws. What is the first law of reflection? First law of reflection is incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie on the same plane. Now here you see when I have drawn the diagram, Then here the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray all are lying on the plane of the blackboard. So you can say that incident ray, reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie on the same plane. This is the first law of reflection. Then what is the second law of reflection? Second law of reflection is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Alright, always it takes place that angle of incidence and angle of reflection, these two should be equal. So what you have to learn from the topics I have discussed, that is the definition of reflection and the two laws of reflection along with the diagram. Now next topic are regular reflection and irregular reflection. Now when the reflecting surface is plain and smooth, then the reflection is known as the regular reflection. And when the reflecting surface is not smooth, it is rough, then the reflection is known as the irregular reflection. So here I have written the regular reflection and irregular reflection in two columns, so that when we will write down the point of differences, then we will get the what are the characteristics also. So let us first draw the diagrams for regular reflection. So what I said for regular reflection, that the surface is plain or smooth. Alright. Now suppose a parallel beam of rays falling on the surface. Alright. Falling on the surface, a parallel beam of rays. Please you take care and draw all the lines parallel to each other. So when the parallel beam of rays falling on it, then what will happen? They will obey the laws of reflection. So when they will obey the laws of reflection, then they will reflect in such a way that angle of incidence will become equal to angle of reflection. So you see, if you draw in that way, that angle of incidence and angle of reflection, they are equal, then you see you will get the diagram like this. You see, look at the diagram, incident rays are parallel to each other and reflected rays are also parallel to each other. Alright, so this is the case of regular reflection. But for irregular reflection, what I said, the surface is not plain, it is not smooth, it is a rough surface. Alright, now on a rough surface, when parallel beam of rays will fall, then what will happen? Let us draw the diagrams first. Suppose you have taken again just like the previous case, that three parallel rays falling on a rough surface. Alright. Now how to draw the reflected ray? Please follow the instruction. Here you see, as it is not a plane surface, so you just consider a small part. You see, I have drawn a small part, it will appear as a line only. Although it is not a line, the entire thing is not a line. But if you take a very small part at the point of incidence, it will appear as a line. So you just mark that. Then you draw a perpendicular to it. So you see, first I have marked the small line, then I have dropped a perpendicular at that point. Alright. Now you do this. Here you draw the reflected. My pen is giving me trouble. Now you do this, that you draw the reflected ray by making an equal angle here. So just look at it. These two angles I have made, equal. Alright. So this is the reflected ray. Now come to this point. This, as I said, you take a small line and then draw a perpendicular to it. Now you see, if I draw the reflected ray, then the ray is coming like this. These two angles are equal. Now come to this point. Again you take a small line, draw a perpendicular to it, and then you draw the reflected ray making the angle of incidence, angle of reflection equal. So look at the diagram now. The incident rays are parallel, but what about the reflected rays? Reflected rays are not parallel to each other. Alright, so these are the two cases of regular reflection and irregular reflection. Now, regular reflection takes place. What is the second point of difference? It takes place from a smooth surface. From a smooth surface. And irregular reflection, it takes place from a rough surface. Alright, then second point, just third point, look at the diagram, you will understand. If the observer is here, then only observer will be able to receive the reflected rays. Alright, so reflected rays are received from a specified direction, from a definite direction. But look at it here, if the observer is here, will receive the ray. If the observer is here, will receive the ray. If the observer is here, will receive the ray. Means observer stand anywhere, observer will receive the rays. But for this one, observer will receive the reflected rays from a specified direction. So what is the third point of difference? Reflected rays can be received from a specified direction. Alright, but in this case what you can say, that reflected rays can be received from all directions. Alright, so this irregular and regular reflection, that's why very important in your practical life. Alright, day-to-day life. Why it is very important for day-to-day life? Just consider this example. You have gone to watch the movie in INOX. Alright, INOX, you have seen that it is a white screen is there. Alright, on the screen the movies are shown. Yes or not? Now, if the white screen used, if it is a plain or smooth surface, then what will happen? I hope you have observed this also, that from above, means above the head, you will see there is a small opening. From that opening, light comes, and light means whatever movies are going on or whatever is going on, that comes and fall on the screen. Alright, so just understand it, from this direction light is coming. So after reflection, the light will come in this direction. If it is a plain surface, so the means what I can say, the persons sitting in that specified direction will be able to watch the movie. Alright, in the hall from all direction, the movies you cannot watch. Alright, so that is a practical application of irregular reflection. Means whenever we want to send light in all direction, then we always prefer the irregular reflection, because in case of irregular reflection, light, reflected light, it just move in all direction, and the observer standing at any position can receive the reflected light. So these are the important application of the irregular reflection in our lives. Now image formation by reflection. So what is image? That you know, everyone knows. What is image? That when light rays come out from a point source, and after suffering reflection, the reflected rays, they meet at a point or appear to meet at a point, then the second point where the reflected rays meet or appear to meet is known as the image of the first point. So that's why we may have two kinds of image, that is real image and virtual image. So what is real image? When the reflected rays, they actually meet at a point, then real image is formed, and when the reflected rays appear to meet at a point, then virtual image is formed. Alright. So whenever reflection takes place, image will be formed, and we may have the two kind of image, real image and virtual image. So you must note the definition of real image, virtual image and image also, and learn it. So what are the differences between real and virtual image? There are 3 points of differences mainly, and this is also important for your board exam. So you must learn this, the differences between regular, irregular reflection, differences between real and virtual image, laws of reflection also, definition of reflection also. Now, what are the differences between real and virtual image? Real image is formed when reflected rays actually meet at a point, and virtual image is formed when the reflected rays appear to meet at a point. And remember, real images are always inverted, means upside down with respect to the object, whereas virtual images are erect with respect to the object. Real image can be obtained on the screen, and virtual images cannot be obtained on the screen. So these are the 3 points of differences between real and virtual image. You must write it, learn it and prepare it for your board exam. Now, image formation by a plane mirror. So now I will teach you how to draw the diagram. Strictly follow the instruction. Now here I am drawing the diagram on a plain board. There is no ruled line, but when you will draw the diagram, when you will answer in exam, you will use ruled line. So take the advantage of the ruled line and strictly, again I am repeating, strictly follow the instruction how to draw the diagram. First of all, so you just imagine that there are ruled lines. So you hold the scale so that it becomes perpendicular to the ruled line. Alright? And then you draw the vertical line and give the symbol of the mirror. Is that clear? This is the first step. Then second step is that you hold your scale along one ruled line. You hold your scale along one ruled line. Is that clear? And then from the mirror at a distance of 3 centimeter or 5 centimeter, you put a mark, alright, in front of the mirror, and holding the scale at the same position, you put a mark at the back of the mirror at a same distance. So how much is the distance I have said to take? It should be along the same ruled line. And then mark the point, and not only that, you join it. How you will join? Just follow the instruction. In front of the mirror it will be solid line, and behind the mirror it will be dotted line. I am repeating, you hold the scale along one ruled line. You imagine there is a ruled line, and then mark a point at a distance 5 centimeter in front of the mirror. Suppose it is A, and then mark a point A dash at the same distance, means 5 centimeter from the mirror at the back of the mirror. Is that clear? Now, after that, name this point, suppose at B. So what I said, AB equal to 5 centimeter, you have taken. A dash B also 5 centimeter taken. I am not writing, I am saying verbally. Please follow the instruction how to draw the diagram. And then from A dash you hold the scale obliquely like this, and then from A dash you draw a oblique line, and when you will draw the line, draw dotted line behind the mirror and solid line in front of the mirror. Alright, and name this point as C. Then what you will do, you join point A and C together. Join point A and C together, and then draw a small perpendicular at the point C on the mirror, and name the diagram. Suppose it is D and this is E. So this is the way you will draw the image formation by a plane mirror. But here remember, the object we have taken a point object, So the image is also a point. So this is the way you can draw the image of a point object formed by a plane mirror. I hope the instruction is clear to everybody. Now the diagram is not complete because it is known as ray diagram, because light we represent by a ray. So until and unless you are not giving the direction of ray, it is an incomplete diagram. So how to give the direction of the ray? Just see, from the point A, light is falling along AB on the mirror. So for AB, you see, it is normal incidence. Normal incidence means what? The light is falling perpendicularly. So what is the angle of incidence? 0. So what is the angle of reflection? Also 0. So you see what will happen? The light will reflect back along the same path. Then another ray AC falling on the mirror at the point C and reflected along CG. Now you look at the two reflected rays BA and CG. BA and CG, when they are extended back, they appear to meet at a point A dash. That's why I said draw dotted line, because these are imaginary, appear to meet, not actually they are meeting. If you are extend them, then they appear to meet at the point A dash. So A dash is image of A. Is that clear? So this is the way a plane mirror they form the image. So here you see A is the object. So the distance of the object from the mirror is known as object distance. A dash is the image. Now the distance of the image from the mirror is known as image distance. Now here I have done one cheating. What I have done? In case of plane mirror, actual method is that you will draw AB and BA, then you will draw AC and CD, then you will extend CD and AB in the backward direction. It will meet at a point A dash will be the image. That is the original way to draw. But what I have done, I have taken BA and BA dash equal. Why? If you follow the original method, then what will happen? You may not get BA and BA dash equal. But according to the physics of the laws of reflection, that object distance and image distance should be equal to each other. Alright, so what cheating we have done? We have made object distance, image distance equal first, and then we have drawn the diagram. Alright, so anyway, now we have drawn the diagram. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that object distance and image distance, they are equal. I forgot to write object distance. Object distance is equal to image distance. What is object distance? I said already, distance between object and mirror. What is image distance? Distance between image and mirror. So we have to prove that object distance is equal to image distance. So from the diagram, object distance is AB and image distance is A dash B. So we have to prove that AB equal to A dash B. Now how we can prove that one? So first you consider the line AB and CE. Look at it. AB and CE both are perpendicular to the same surface. So what you can write? AB and CE, they are parallel to each other. So AB and CE parallel to each other. AC is the transversal. I hope you know the mathematics of the parallel lines. So what will happen? Just see, if I name this as angle 1 and angle 2, then these two angles, they are the internal alternate angle. So these alternate angles will be equal. Alright, why I have said to name it, then it will be easy for you to write the name of the angle. That's why. Mark it and write it like this, 1 and 2. So one can write therefore angle BAC equal to alternate ALT. Full form you don't have to write ALT dot, if you write it means alternate angle ACE. So this is the first equation we have got. Now look at the diagram. ACE is the angle of incidence and ECD is the angle of reflection. So angle of incidence and angle of reflection, they are equal. So the third angle I have marked. Alright, so what you can write? Angle ACE equal to angle ECD. Why they are equal? As angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. So this is equation 2. Alright, now come to this one. If you consider the line A dash, just you consider the line A dash and CE. A dash and CE, they are parallel to each other, and A dash D is the transversal. Alright, I hope I don't have to draw the diagram separately, or shall I draw it? You see here A dash, and then this is CE and this is D. This is the case. I have written separately here, separately drawn the diagram. You don't have to draw this diagram. For your understanding, I have drawn. So you see, this is angle 3. So you name it as angle 4. Alright, what kind of angle they are? Corresponding angle. And you know, for parallel lines, corresponding angles are equal. So one can write here angle ECD equal to corresponding full terms. You may not write CORR, also you can write corresponding angle CA-B. Alright, these two are equal. This is equation 3. Now look at the diagram. Angle BAC equal to ACE, then ACE equal to ECD. Now ECD equal to CA-B. So if you consider equation 1, 2 and 3, what you can write? That angle BAC equal to CA-B. So what you can write here? From equation 1, 2 and 3, one can write as angle BAC equal to angle CA-B. I hope the mathematics is clear to everyone. Now you consider the two triangles, and triangle BAC and triangle BA-C. These are the two triangles. You see here BAC and BA-C. We have taken two triangles. In this two triangle, already we have got that BAC equal to, you can write it like this, BA-C, that we have got CA-B and BA-C same, no? So you can write angle BAC equal to BA-C. Then BC is common. Alright. Then I am writing it here. And you see here, look at the diagram, angle ABC equal to angle A-BC equal to 90 degree. Alright, so what will happen? Two triangles are congruent. So what you can write? That triangle BAC congruent to triangle BA-C. So if the two triangles are congruent, then the other sides and other angles are equal. So one can write that AB equal to A-B. Means what? Object distance is equal to image distance. Alright. So this proof this derivation you must practice at home. In the rough notebook you must practice, and you must note it in the study material notebook, but practice should be done at the rough notebook.